Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm at the Commons Karachi speaking about the business of brown beauty with three other fascinating women. Dr. Maliha Javed, who's a dermatologist, Rebellious Brownie, that is an amazing content creator, and Selena, who is the owner of Selena Cosmetics. I just wanted you guys to all hear this conversation, hear us speak about what it means to be brown, the business of brown beauty, skin tone, skin color, how to change the conversation around beauty, around skin color, around crazy standards of beauty that we see now happening all across the board. I wanted you guys to be privy to the conversation. I hope you guys enjoy this.
Today's talk, so it will go as the conversation goes. If you guys have any questions, of course, they're more than welcome. I had a few things in mind for each of them, obviously based on what they do. I want to start with Natasha because I know she's right in the middle of Shadi season. I'm 100% sure she's gotten brides who've probably at some point asked you कि हमें गोरा कर दे, हमारा रंग और साफ कर दे, हाथ पैर एक जैसे कर दे. So I just want you to briefly tell us about if that still happens, considering it's 2022. What do you do with it and how do you handle it?
My mic, I think, just okay, it's back. Of course it happens. I think it happens across the board. I also really empathize with the women who come in and ask for that. So I feel like a lot of what we do is the minute now someone says it, and the reason why people don't vocalize it on their social media platforms is that now suddenly we'll be like, oh my god, but it should only be your own skin and own your own skin and etc. I know women who fight for that on social media platforms and will come in for makeup and then still ask to look fairer. So I know that it's a lot deeper. So I do have it. I think you have to deal with it very sensitively because I don't think anyone's, it's not just about a person. When a person turns around and says that they want to change something about themselves, it's because in a very deep, and like we were just discussing right now, it's generations of indoctrination of the fact that fairer is prettier. Yeah. And I think to break it for me as a makeup artist in a day is not possible. So of course I try to sit there and be like, listen, it's going to not look as lovely as your own skin tone, embrace your own skin tone. But a lot of times it's about, distracting them, being like, okay, let me play up your eyes or let me use a puppy color, kind of distracting and not also beating them down either about the fact that they want that, because I don't think it's their issue alone, it's a societal issue. So I think we have to deal with it in a very sensitive manner, I feel, and that's what I try to do with my clients.
No, absolutely. So I work in a skin clinic and the number of times I've gotten patients whose moms have actually come in and saying कि इसका रंग देखें, इसका रंग साफ करें. And then I told her, I said, this is it. I said, you really need to stop doing this because if you are telling me कि इसका रंग साफ करें तो आप घर में कितना इसको बोलती होंगी कि अपना रंग देखो जाके. And she kept saying कि इसकी बड़ी बहन का रंग साफ है. So that constant comparison कि जी बहन का रंग साफ है तो भाई का रंग ऐसा है, cousin ऐसी है, अम्मी अब्बू ऐसे. So I feel that again that translates into your work, right? कि वो शादी पे आके उनको होता है कि we want to look our best.
And also where I really try to really make women understand, like makeup के time पे तो we quickly have clients come in and a lot of times I remember when I did your makeup, she had given me a tip. She said your work is so draining, you have to remain very silent to actually preserve energy, and I don't talk as such when I'm doing my clients. It's more about just focusing on the makeup. But in my makeup master classes, I see a lot of women, and where it really upsets me personally and also makes me really sad is when I see mothers actually talking about their daughters. So like you said, I'll have a lot of women who will come and say, I have a 4-year-old who's very dark, or my 5-year-old isn't growing enough hair on her head. So, and there was one woman in my last master class, one mom, and I remember she was crying, I was crying, then the entire class was crying because she said, I grew up very beautiful. I've always been a very beautiful woman. Even as a kid I was beautiful, so I've never known what it is to be bullied by people for how I look. But she said when I had my daughter, she has a weight issue and she's darker. And she said every day my husband and my family says, fix her. You have to fix her. She's 9 years old, now she's becoming a girl. And she was crying saying that every day I call her ugly and I call her fat in the hopes that by shaming her, I will make her be more beautiful because I'm saving her, because people will not forgive her, because every time we go out, people are so awful to her that if I'm awful enough, she'll change. And I remember, and you see again, I felt for the mother as well, because you realize that the pressure we have as a society to look a certain way, and now because of social media, etc., is ridiculous. So you also realize that it's, I feel across the board, it's so important to have these conversations, especially in the generation that is now growing up.
So, I just feel like you do to others what has been done to you. So that mother, it was done to her growing up, whether it was her or she heard it about her sister. So it's again inherited. So what she was doing is she was passing that on to her daughter. And she was aware, right? And hence the tears were flowing out.
Yeah.
There was awareness, but she didn't know what to do about it. It was that, but awareness is the beginning,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
is beautiful as well.
But I think इस तरह से भी बहुत होता है जैसे for example I'll give you my example बचपन से लेके काफ़ी बाद वाली स्टेज तक लेके किसी भी इवेंट पे मैं कहीं जाती थी तो my sister would get all the compliments because she is fair and I'm not. And that would make me feel so bad, so sad. And मेरी मामा को obviously नजर आता था वो, तो I think वो ये भी होता है कि लोग आपकी बाकी बच्चों की तारीफ ज़्यादा करें कि इसका ये कलर इस पे इतना सूट कर रहा है, ये इसका शेड इतना अच्छा लग रहा है, लेकिन आपको एज अ साइड पे रहकर आप बिल्कुल पीछे कर देते हैं और फिर आपका इससे कॉन्फिडेंस इतना ब्रेक होता है, इतना शार्प होता है, वही चीज़ आपके पेरेंट्स को भी नजर आ रही होती है. दैट ऑल्सो ब्रेक्स देम ऑल्सो. और इसकी वजह से फिर वहाँ पे शुरू करते हैं कि तुम ये लगा लो मुँह पे, तुम ये कर लो, तुम ख्याल नहीं रखती अपनी स्किन का. तो ये भी होता है फिर पेरेंट्स के अंदर.
I think what's really important to do, I mean, at least for me, even on my platform, for all the times I'll put up pictures of me glammed up, other people pictures of other people glammed up. We also try to do more realistic pictures. I don't share pictures of my daughter, but I say this to everybody when I speak to them, a lot of my students. My daughter is not my color, okay? So she's darker than, say, and for me, because I come from, I feel like everybody, again, the focus on my child would be a lot more as well where beauty is concerned, because that's what people associate with me, because I work in the beauty industry. But I realize, this is what I tell other mothers as well when I'm speaking to them, that that's never been of any concern to me. I don't look at her and I see any flaw. I actually only see a very beautiful little girl. And I think that is where we have to start as well, from sharing our stories. Like you're saying, I'm sharing my story and being like, if someone looks at you today and sees a stunning girl who's confident, who's running her own business online and is speaking about all of this stuff, we have to show what we really want other people to do by doing it ourselves. I feel people need more examples.
Absolutely. So Selena runs a business of skincare products, hair and skincare products. Selena, have you ever had questions? Okay, can you just tell us about your products and I have a question for you?
We began several years ago and our top product was Orlo. And when I began, I was a lot younger. And it said on the jar, no judgment here please guys, it said at that time, Orlo tightens, whitens, brightens.
I had that.
And so it was, it's a great formulation and it is brightening. And it pains me, but that was my journey, that is how we began. And at that time, being young and a business owner, like, it's just felt right. And that's, at that time, how the marketing team guided me. And, when you're young, I just went by it and I looked at that as a way. You are beautiful the way you are, glow from within. However, glow from within, and this is a brightening face mask that will help you reveal your inner glow. So it kind of it changes the whole narrative, right? So, there is something available that will make us glow, and I'm celebrating my glow. So these are just small things that, small campaigns we've started to help people celebrate themselves, and without judgment.
Do you think you would sell more because people want all of that?
Yes. But then, what am I I always think to myself, what am I here for? What is my purpose in life, right? And that in itself just changes what would I achieve by doing that, right? So we recently had this campaign for Orlo and we redid it, and it was, society is unfair, not cheap, And what you said about the society always saying, what about your skin color? My youngest sister, she's 13 years old, and people would say, isko kya ho gaya? Ye roi nahi hai.
Yeah.
There was this really unsettling feeling here, this disgust, that how can you look at a child? What are you imparting to this child? I'm not good enough?
Yeah, I had a nanny who came, I remember when I was interviewing nannies for Noor, and she said, but aapne apni beti ka rang kharab kar diya hai. So I said, what do you mean by that? And she said, because she doesn't have skin like you. She must have done. She was 6 months. So I obviously didn't hire her, and I gave her a lecture, and I said, you know, she's fine the way she is. Her skin's perfect. That's what she was born with, and she's beautiful. What's wrong with it? But you also realize that one other thing that I want to say here is that I see a lot of women putting a lot of women down. The pressure also comes from, I'm sure it comes from male as well, but I think that's secondary. I feel like the pressure actually and the real fight here, I always feel, is women pulling each other down. The pressures are also from women, and I feel like the change also has to first come between women, because even for brides, everybody I see also, it's always the women, some woman is pressurizing them to look a certain way.
I think that's true. My turn? Okay. So Neha over here is a content creator, and actually I wanted to continue with what Selena had also mentioned. So, you know, if you make whitening products, then of course sell. If you whiten up the brides, of course, you know, you'll have 100 more brides versus what you're doing right now. Have you ever felt that brands also expect you to do that, or have you ever encountered a brand that's asked you to, कि जी थोड़ा सा ज़रा edit कर ले, या foundation गोरा लगा ले, उसके बाद आप तस्वीर भेजें अपनी?
कुछ इनिशियली कुछ ब्रांड इस तरह के थे जो मुँह पे तो नहीं ऑब्वियसली कि बोलता आपके कि आप डार्क हैं या आप हमारी ब्रांड में फिट नहीं करते आपकी कॉम्प्लेक्शन की वजह से, लेकिन आपको पता लग जाता है कि कैंपेन जब आती है कि किस तरह के लोग रेडी हैं. तो लेकिन आई थिंक ओवर दीज इयर्स बहुत कुछ अच्छा आई थिंक ओवर दीज इयर्स बहुत कुछ चेंज हुआ है, और अब बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स इंक्लूसिविटी की तरफ आ रहे हैं और इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हैं थोड़े डार्क स्किन लड़कियों को भी. मॉडल्स को चलो ठीक है, मुझे लगता है ब्रांड्स ट्राई टू अपीयर इंक्लूसिव, और वो एज ए ट्रेंड उस पर हॉक ऑन करके आ जाते हैं कि हमें बातें ना सुननी पड़े लोगों की. तो मुझे अभी भी फील होता है कुछ ब्रांड्स हैं इस तरह के कि उनको लगता है कि जो स्पेसिफिक ब्यूटी सेट हुआ है ना स्टैंडर्ड कोई लड़की का, वो अगर आपकी कैंपेन में नहीं है या हमारे ब्रांड का पार्ट नहीं है तो आपकी कैंपेन नहीं चलेगी.
It's गोरी पतली लंबी. That's I think the classical description.
If you think about it, like if you go deep into it, it's a lot of it is what we've inherited from colonialism, right? Ki fair means beautiful, fair means
you're the best.
You're the best, right? Like, so I grew up in Geneva. I moved here when I was 11 years old, and I still remember my first day at the convent. This one girl comes to me, she smacks me and says, "People are saying you're fairer than me." And I just remember being this child, like my parents had somewhat sheltered us from Pakistan, and I think that was their way of shutting us out from what it was. But we moved back here, and I still remember at that time just taken aback. What does that mean? And it took me several years till somebody said something about my sister to understand what it was. This deeply embedded.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've all noticed, and we've all traveled enough, I'm sure, that beauty ke baare mein bolna, like you probably not notice anybody abroad point out that, oh, you know, you're dark or you're fat, or like nobody will laugh at you or point fingers at you if you're plus size or you're looking for a darker foundation.
I think मेरा सबसे ज़्यादा confidence जो मुझ में आया था ना वो traveling के थ्रू आया था, क्योंकि मैं चलती भी जहाँ भी जा रही होती थी लोग मेरे complexion पे मुझे ज़रूर compliment करते थे, और मैं सोचती थी पाकिस्तानी लोगों के साथ मसला क्या है. मुझे बाहर लोग ये बोल रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान में आके मैं बातें सुनती हूँ बैठ के, तो मतलब मसला मुझ में नहीं है, पाकिस्तानी लोगों में, सोसाइटी में.
But I feel like, to be honest, even on a global platform, I feel there's a lot of bias though. So I feel like we get more like, nobody calls us fat or whatever, but I feel there's now the pressure on the way someone looks is becoming a very global issue as well, because there it's more about fitting into a certain mold. Your waist is not small enough, or your breasts are not big enough, I don't know, your lips are not big enough, so unnatural standards of beauty. So I feel like it's something that does resonate, but of course they love darker skin, so we fit in better there. But I feel like a lot of pressure as far as looks are concerned. I think never before on a global platform do we have so much pressure to look a certain way.
And look at all these filters.
Yeah.
What is happening? It's like unnatural. Yeah. And sometimes when I look at them, and when I'm on a filter, I just cannot post it, because it is not who I am. So what are we imparting? What are we letting other people know?
No, I've actually had patients, like young girls come in of themselves, अपनी तस्वीरें with filters कि हमें ऐसी शक्ल चाहिए. I'm just like, just go on Snapchat and do it. Like, this is not something that can be done in real. Also, one more thing, I'm sure everybody's aware of that. People get Borderline injections nowadays.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous how, I think our clinic literally thrives on that right now,
Yeah.
but probably every clinic.
I'm interested to know what is the science behind it.
It's
Like, what does it do?
It's glutathione. It's an antioxidant.
Okay.
So it just, you know how an antioxidant, vitamin C just helps you brighten up your skin? It's basically that.
So it's once again, your own natural skin color will always be your own natural skin
Of course, so
color.
when you leave it, you go back to your baseline color, which will always be there. It's not like you're finishing the pigment or the pigment
Does it do something to the melanin?
It just reduces it slightly, just makes it, it's just an antioxidant, right? So it kind of brightens up everything, makes everything function. So I was in Cardiff for my training in dermatology, and I had friends over there who were from Philippines and India, and like, you know, a lot of us from the Asian and the Eastern Asian side, and nobody from UK and one person from somewhere in America. They said we don't have any of this, but all of us knew what glutathione was.
Yeah.
All of us were using it. Philippines apparently is quite popular. India is full of it. So my friends from India, they're like, "Yahan to clinic mein ye na ho, so chances are that." You know,
Even a lot of Indian actresses, if you see over time, very gorgeous, stunning, brown-skinned women, you'll suddenly notice that now they're a lot lighter.
lots of Pakistani actresses.
Yeah, everybody. So I know.
Not just male actors also.
Yeah, male actors, and a lot of my brides, the number one thing they go to dermatologists here for, and I know, I mean, I'm constantly always telling them, only because some of the methods, I feel, not you guys, but I'm saying I've also heard of some very unethical ways of making them fairer, and they all have, the problem also ends up happening is because they give them those creams that thin out their skin. As a makeup artist, when I'm doing their makeup, I'm like, your skin's like paper, what are you doing? And they're like, as long as I look good, I don't care if I die, I get cancer. I was like, you know, this can give you cancer, this can really harm you later in life. They were like, oh, but we look good right now. It doesn't matter.
It's just a temporary fix, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
क्योंकि आई थिंक हमारी इंडस्ट्री में भी ये बहुत ज़्यादा एक चीज़ एग्जिस्ट करती है कि अच्छे रोल्स उन्हीं लोग हो जाते हैं जो फेयर हैं, कास्ट उन्हीं लोगों को किया जाता है लीग में जो फेयर हैं. आपने ये नोटिस की होगी बात किया, जैसे छोटा मोटा रोल है उसके लिए हमेशा या तो डार्क मेकअप पे कर देंगे या डार्क बंदा ही इंसान लेंगे ताकि वो कास्ट का डिफरेंस शो हो. ये बात मुझे समझ नहीं आती कि डिफरेंस मतलब बेहतर करने के बजाय आप टीवी पे जो मासेस हमारे देख रही है, आप वो चीज़ खत्म करने के बजाय आप वो ज़्यादा प्रमोट कर रहे हैं.
But then this sells, right? So that's the problem. So like if you look at it from a marketing point of view, that's why I asked Selena, like if you start making products which are gore hone wala, she'd be a millionaire right now. Because I'm telling you, it would sell out instantly. But again, see that's the thing with media as well, television, TV, drama, all of that. You need to put out things which will sell. Unfortunately, that's very unethical or goes against the morals of a very small population of the country, by the way. I'm sure Natasha, you've probably come across the most amount of people who want this Gora Rang, and obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So if majority wants that, then of course the media houses obviously want to give you what the majority wants.
यही तो बात है ना कि माइंडसेट चेंज करने की बात है. वो ओवरनाइट तो नहीं होगा, लेकिन लोगों को इकट्ठे मिल के वो बात करनी ज़रूरी है, वो कॉन्वर्सेशन करनी ज़रूरी है ताकि एक पॉइंट आए जब ये चीज़ें नॉर्मलाइज हो.
I remember initially when I started the salon, I unfortunately went on a morning show because I also moved from abroad, I wasn't living here. And initially they said go promote the salon and go to this morning show, and this morning show host at the end of this, first the topic was brown beauty, but the topic was how to make the person fairer. So I was a bit of a I was like, and then she's like, आप बताएं, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगी हमारी मुल्क की सावली लड़कियों को? I was like, what are you saying? So on television, and it was a live telecast, and I was like, there's nothing to say, you know, they're gorgeous the way they are. And she was kind of looking at me like I was from a different planet, because there's 2-3 other people who were there alongside me were giving all these ways of making girls fairer. And I do think that TV plays a really huge role in how I think people are perceived, and I think, yeah, 100% you want to start changing that for sure.
Look at how many followers do you have? Look at the amount of likes.
Can you say that louder now?
Say it louder.
But the thing is, what I've also noticed is that
Say it louder.
86,000.
And look at the amount of lives you're changing. People are interested. They want.
Yeah.
But you know what I've noticed as well? People who are like fair and beautiful and who fit into that stereotypical like idea of a beautiful woman, their content gets so much more engagement, their content gets so many more likes, comments, and people love to follow their lives. But I am thankful, alhamdulillah, the people who follow me, I am thankful and grateful for them. And when somebody tells me that I have changed their life, or I have changed their mindset, or I have convinced them that this color would look good on them, that just makes my day, and just one person saying that, it's like everything for me.
How amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, have you ever felt, or like has anybody ever said, okay, oh, I can't wear this color, oh, I can't wear this color nail polish, or have you ever had this encounter maybe like salons? कि आप ऐसा करें ये नेल पॉलिश ना लगाएं या फिर अच्छी नहीं लगेगी?
हमेशा कोई भी सैलून हो, कुछ भी हो, मैं बोलती हूँ मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है ना, अपने हाथ पे बस काफ़ी है, और क्या सोच रहे हैं मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। लेकिन बहुत सारी लड़कियाँ होती हैं, मैंने अगर कोई बहुत ब्राइट कलर येलो लगाया है फॉर इंस्टेंस, तो वो कहते हैं ओह ये तो इतना अच्छा लग रहा है, कोई ट्राई भी करने को तैयार नहीं है उस चीज़ को, क्योंकि वो लोगों ने बोलते हैं दिमाग में कि नहीं ये कलर नहीं करना, ये नहीं करना, वो उनके दिमाग में बात बैठ जाती है कि नहीं करेगा, तो वो ट्राई भी नहीं करते। मैं कहती हूँ ट्राई करो, नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है तो फिर मत करो, लेकिन अगर अच्छा लग रहा है तो फिर लोगों की बातें नहीं सुनो, आपको जो करना है खुद करो।
So Natasha, what advice would you give to moms, new moms, in terms of helping their daughters, even sons for that matter? I feel like nobody in the society is protected, be it boys or girls.
Yeah.
What advice would you give for them to shelter their children from this, but also be able to face what they will eventually face?
So personally, after becoming a mom, the first thing you need to do is actually, the first advice I always give them is work on your own demons first. Because you cannot teach your child any different to what you already know. So I know mothers who are very harsh on themselves, but they don't want their children to be harsh on themselves. They're going to learn from what you see. So whenever I have moms come to me and say, what's the advice you would give? I say first, learn to love yourself the way you are, because all of us have something or the other in our lives that we've been bullied about or said things about. So if, for you it's been the fact that your skin color, for me I've always been someone who was a bigger girl. I feel I've always heard comments over the fact that you're bigger, you should be smaller, etc. And I think over time what I've realized is that it affects me, or the impact it's going to have on my life depends on how insecure I am about that particular situation. When I get changed the way I feel about it, I don't care what anyone else is saying. So I feel like for moms, I always say first fix your own demons, spend time fixing whatever is broken inside. We all have something or the other. To become, because I feel even as my child, she looks at me and she's going to just watch what I do. Everything I've learned and everything I learned from my mother, I didn't learn because she told me. I learned because I watched. And I think that's what we need to do for our kids, to become examples of the kind of people they need to be. So if I constantly am insecure about my weight or the way I look, my daughter's going to do the same. She's going to be no different. Even if I tell her every day you're beautiful, she'll be like, but you don't think you're beautiful. Why should I think you're beautiful? I'm beautiful, So I feel like for me, again, as my mom growing up, our looks was, funnily enough, because mostly people would think that they would be a part of the conversation. My mother never complimented me on how I looked. So it was never a topic of conversation at home. We were never told we were good looking. We were never told we were bad looking, because I also had a very hard, I think we all do, puberty was not very kind to me. But I remember everybody else always comparing me to my mom and saying very horrible things, but I never remember my mother ever making that the focus of our lives. So we played sport, we traveled, the conversation on the table was always about so much other stuff. So I think that's why I feel that I have a grounded perspective on beauty. I'm not affected by people saying something bad to me or something good to me, because I feel like it's fickle. I think we all will change and age, grow. But I feel like the most important thing as mothers is work on your own selves and try to be an example for whatever you want your children to be.
Absolutely. Natasha, do you feel there's an added pressure on you because of the family that you belong to that has beauty always? So you said that your mom obviously never brought it up, but do you feel it was understood that you were
And I remember initially I didn't look that way at all. So if you have pictures, if I ever showed pictures of my puberty, I don't put them up because mostly people jump to the fact that they literally jump to the fact that they think I've had plastic surgery, because it's such a drastic difference. When I used to play sport, I was a tomboy, I had a mustache till I was 17. My mother never got rid of my facial. I had so much hair on my legs. And my mother used to be like, it's fine, you're a kid, enjoy yourself. And I'm so thankful for that, because we really enjoyed being children. But there was a mad pressure. So whenever we would go, I remember I would walk in with my mother and they'd be like, and my mother was considered a very good looking daughter of my grandmother. So her focus around her always was how good looking she was. So by comparison, I was always like, and they would turn around and be like, oh my God, like ये तो बिल्कुल अपने बाप पे गई, ये तो बिल्कुल अपने माँ पे नहीं गई. So I remember the good thing that happens is it keeps your feet very planted very firmly on the ground, and then you learn to actually grow on other aspects of your being. But 100%, I think there is pressure. I think there's pressure now across the, like I said, if the young, I have mothers who bring their like 16-year-olds to go to a wedding and get them dolled up, and they all look so adult. Like sometimes I'm like, should she be wearing that to someone's wedding? And they're like, yeah, and can you do her, eyes like this and open her hair? And I feel the importance of just having a childhood which is carefree. I don't want my daughter to think about what her hair looks like at 13, 14, 15. She has a whole life to do that. So I think even for us, like I said, I got involved in makeup and looking a certain way a lot later in life. So I feel, yeah, again, very important to protect our children from that.
So what do you do at home to make sure that your sons will eventually not say all of these things, or at least not be one of those boys?
So we don't talk about the outward at all. We don't talk about looks, we don't talk about body weight, we don't talk about any of that. What we do talk about is you need to eat healthy for your energy. You need to moisturize because your skin is dry. So whenever that topic comes, it's as a means to an end. It's not about anything other than that. So the exterior plays very little role in our home, and because of that, like so this time, so every time I travel, and he sees someone with dreadlocks and darker skin, like I'm talking about dark skin. Right? Like sometimes I'm like, I hope he doesn't turn around and say something. You know how kids are. That's why I said, I have noticed it doesn't make any difference to him. What he sees is the being in the human, and that is something I can proudly say he's going to inherit from me.
Yeah, I think that's something the training begins at home, right? So that is exactly what they will learn and eventually say in school as well amongst their friends. Has your son ever come back home and said, oh, his friend said something XYZ, या किसी के बारे में कुछ बोला, or something that he's picked up in school?
No, it has not happened. No.
That's quite surprising actually, but that's
and so right now currently he's going through the girl versus boys phase. So, but none of that has come on. However, growing up, I was chubby, and and my sister was skinny, and I still remember after my O-levels, I lost mad amount of weight, and everyone at that time would say, "Oh, you started looking like Sukaina now," and Sukaina was gorgeous, in my eyes because she was the skinny one, and I was like, "Oh, thank you," So. I think at that time, had someone just said, oh, if they had to say anything about my appearance, they could have said, oh, you're looking fitter. It's just the narrative changes. And after that, itne faake kiye, itne, surviving on coffee and chalia and weakening my bones, I just wish, even for kids, if that, we could change the dialogue. That would really play a big role. Moisturize, it's good for your skin. Eat healthy, it's going to help you grow tall. It'll help you grow. Forget tall or any other thing. Leave that out. These are just things that just change you.
I also feel another thing I always tell women to do, or men to do, anyone I really know to do, my husband will laugh about this, is that you have to also stop people and correct them when it's needed. So हमारे में एक और भी आदत बचपन से होती, कुछ मत बोलो, कुछ मत बोलो. So what initially I grew up and I was like, कुछ मत बोलो, but this person is following everything to me. मैं ना कुछ बोलूँ. So now and it's something that people have learned around me, and I'm very vocal. And they get a little taken aback. So even an auntie will get taken aback, being like, why is she lecturing me, But I will, and I'll stop them and be like, that wasn't kind. Or I don't want to hear that. And do you realize that you're stepping on a personal? And the funny thing is, when you say it, the other person, no matter how atrocious they're being, suddenly becomes so uncomfortable. They're not used to it. They're not used to it. They're not used to say someone being like, please don't comment on my weight, don't comment on my hair. Even if you're commenting too much on even a good thing, sometimes I'll stop them and be like, there are other things to think about when it comes to me. I would like to hear them. So I feel like that's another thing I would want to teach my daughter as well. To be able to have a voice and say, this makes me uncomfortable, don't say it. I don't like it. I think there's a lot of self-respect in that, and because dunya mein people there'll be some mean person, and you also realize it's not just about actually bias. People are also mean because they're in pain. So there'll always be someone who's going to turn around and be like, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. You also have to be able to be like, how will I disconnect it and be like, it's not my issue, it's your issue. And the fact that you would have to vocalize, I think वो भी हमारे यहाँ बहुत नहीं होता. We're just not able to say it. A lot of people don't say it.
Because I feel like बचपन से we've been told like you can't say anything, बड़ों को कुछ नहीं बोलना. But Neha, do you feel like after you've started blogging and like you've achieved a lot in these I think few years that you've been doing it, do you feel like you've built that capacity to say no to people or like shut them down if they've said anything since you've made the blog? Like, do you feel it's changed you in any way?
It definitely has. Just like Natasha said, you have to learn to correct them because अगर आप एक बार correct कर देंगे उनको उसके बाद वो सोचेंगे बोलने से पहले. अब यही होता है कि हम ट्रिप पे जाते हैं तो लोगों को बड़ा मसला होता है कि टैन हो गए हम, ये हो गया, काले लग रहे हैं. काला क्या होता है? टैन ठीक है, टैन है, it's a glow, it's a golden glow, it's beautiful. I love my tan, I love it when I get tan when I'm traveling. तो वो correct करना, फिर वो उनको भी बोलते हैं, oh I'm so sorry, I'll be careful next time. तो वो correct करने वाली बात सही है, बिल्कुल correct करना जरूरी है उनको. वरना उनके दिमाग में ये बात कभी आएगी नहीं कि मैं गलत बोल रही हूँ या मुझे इस तरह की बात नहीं करनी किसी के सामने.
I think that's what we've been taught, right? That that's the right thing to say. कि गोरा सही है, पतला सही है, मोटा and काला is obviously not the right thing.
And you'll notice that when you correct them once or twice, you suddenly will become someone they won't say it to ever again.
Oh, they are
So in all my surroundings, everybody is always scared of saying anything to me because they're like, yeah, lecture, don't say it to me.
Like I remember when I was newly married and there was a milad or a function like that, a religious function at the house. So one of the aunties said to me, and you know, I know that she said it out of complete ignorance and love as well. But she looked at me and, you know, I was probably all dolled up, you know, newly married. She said to me, "Tum kab gore bete kar rahi ho?" I looked at her and I said, "But auntie, mujhe abhi bacche nahi karne hain, you know, और मुझे नहीं करने हैं बच्चे, मुझे लड़के भी नहीं इतने पसंद, मुझे पिंक पसंद है." You know, I was very authentic and you know, I spoke my truth. I was authentic and she was quiet for a second and after that she gave me the biggest smile and she said, "बिल्कुल बेटा, you know, आप नहीं करें अभी, you know, enjoy your life right now." I said, "Auntie, yeah, sorry, I have to be honest with you."
And that's too very problematic.
Authenticity, vulnerability.
Gore and bete, because bete is enough. And then, well, you had 2 sons.
No, but I went to an all-girls college. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all about women empowerment. I proudly say it. I'm a 50-50. Like, we both are earners, me and my husband. Like, I'm a very woman empowerment. You know? So, but it's from the universe. I've gotten 2 sons, and
auntie must be happy.
But I also feel
I don't think I ever saw her after that. I stopped attending these functions because I didn't get anything what I wanted out of them.
But I also feel where women are just on the subject of the salon and seeing interactions, a lot of commentary on these kind of things is also about power between women. So a lot of times, you know, mother-in-laws will come and be like, and I always laugh because I'm like, ये कहाँ है ये बेटे? Because they'll always come and say, जो मेरा बेटा है ना, वो बहुत good looking है, और ये ना इतनी good looking नहीं है. एक तो उनको भी वहाँ बहुत एक and they'll always say it on the face. And sometimes when those good-looking sons come to pick up their wives, I'm like, ये है वो good-looking beta? I mean, auntie, you know. But I also realize it is a lot about power, because that's how if you are, and you realize that a lot of times the girls that are sitting are almost like they feel handicapped immediately, because they're like, shit, like she's already telling me I'm not good looking enough. And that is where that's where I tell my brides in front of the mother-in-laws mostly, that you have to believe in yourself. There'll always be someone. I mean, you open up the most beautiful woman's Instagram account, you'll notice about 200 people telling how ugly she is. There'll always be someone telling you that you're not good enough. But it's very important to understand power dynamics as well. It is a lot about power. So if I walk into a room, especially here I feel, you walk into a room with 10 women, you will notice immediately there'll be 2 women in one corner, 3 in one corner, 5, 2 looking you up and down. You know, you put 10 men in a room here, they'll all be friends by the end of the hour. But women also tend to, it's a lot about power as well, and understanding that that is what's happening as opposed to making it about yourself.
But Natasha, do you feel like what you do to others has been done to you? So this auntie that came up to me giving me pressure or, you know, about getting pregnant, that was done to her.
Yeah.
And till I was vulnerable and I spoke my truth, that I could see there was a shift in her.
Yeah.
She understood it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think it's important. I think sometimes people understand it. I also feel that beyond a certain age, you have to, no matter, even if something bad happened to me, say something bad happened to all of us at some point in our lives. But like I remember that because I went through a lot of bullying in my teenage years, because like I said, there was constant comparison with my family. Nothing I asked for, because I was like, why am I their daughter? Like, this is such a pain, and you know, constantly being compared. But I have grown up to be more, I will always have a lot of empathy towards a woman, because I will never comment on her, the way she looks in a bad way, etc., because it happened to me. So I feel like it should make you empathize with people more, not कि अब मेरी बारी and now I'm going to really take revenge on this person because, you know, now I can say it to someone else. So I feel like, yes, 100%, I think if you can make another person aware, because sometimes I have made other people aware, because they realize that, oh, they said, you know, तुमने 2 दफ़ा कहा बेटा हमें समझ आ गई, तुम्हें नहीं अच्छा लगता. You know, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, but then there are also other people that I realize are just being mean, and then, you know, then they just require more lectures. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned awareness. You make people aware of what is it. So that is what I would also like to say. If you are out there and you want to make a few shades lighter, you want to lighten your foundation, ask yourself why. And whatever the answer is, it's between you and yourself, and that's what it is.
I really don't think it's as simple as that, I'll be very honest. Just 2 days ago, I had a patient who had come in. She was 16 years old, and she came with her mom, and mom was gori, daughter was slightly wheatish, but she didn't have the same complexion as her mother. And they belonged to a certain set, and she said कि हम लोग में बहुत ज़्यादा रंग पे focus है, and that girl had I don't know, dengue भी हो गया था, 2 दफ़ा typhoid भी हुआ था, something. So obviously she had lost that half her hair, right? Like our बाल तो foreign चले जाते whenever you're sick, and her only thing was कि इसके आप बाल ठीक कर दें, इसका रंग ठीक कर दें, क्योंकि हम लोग अब जब किसी शादी पे जाते हैं तो लोग बहुत पूछते हैं चीज़ें कि आपको पता है हम लोगों में तो इसी तरह होता है, एंड हमारे में तो ये तो वो 16 साल की थी, चीज़ से अगले साल इसकी शादी करनी है मुझे, एंड बिकॉज शी 17 and according to her कि 16 के बाद तो शादी हैज़ टू हैपन, एंड वो बस वो कांस्टेंट एक था, बिकॉज लोग हमारी सोसाइटी में ये कहते हैं, लोग हमारे
What did you say? Why?
See, I do that. I have really long conversations with these moms and these daughters, and then every time a mom and daughter do a come in, and I can tell that the daughter actually gets very happy and very मतलब उन्हें confidence आ जाता है when I'm telling the mother that what they're doing is wrong. But this mother said, she understood. She said, मुझे बिल्कुल बात आपकी समझ आ रही है. What you're saying, she said, मैं घर में अपनी 4 बेटियाँ comparison नहीं करती, but मैं क्या करूँ? She said, my saas, my khala saas, my this mother, my this khala, कहती सारे लोगों का बस pressure ये होता है कि रंग ठीक करो, बाल ठीक करो. Acne has become like the biggest issue, and I'm like, it's a medical बीमारी, you know, like forget saying कि वो skin care कर ले, it's an actual medical condition, treat it like a medical condition, but वही है कि शक्ल खराब कर ली अपनी.
But for you to be in a position of power, and the fact that like recently my aunt took her teenage daughter to a dermatologist who then sat down in very harsh words, although my cousin has beautiful skin, so I don't know what she was going on about how she has like aging ho gayi, or pata nahi kya ho gaya, like these big words, till my khala stopped her and said, hello, she's a teenager, very gently, don't speak like that to her. And she was like, okay, you know, I'll speak gently, I guess, but I feel like that's also at least helpful, that you're sitting in a position of a place where mostly people would turn and be like, yeah, let me make her fairer, let me make her hair grow, etc., and saying ke mat kare.
And because हमारे पास ये होता है कि we have a lot of people coming in from pharmaceutical companies, and the only thing that they're selling is ये देखिए ये बोलने होने वाली tablet, इसकी ये इतने पैसों की है, इसमें ये है, इसमें ये result, and unfortunately, I don't get into that. Like I tell my patients straight up, I'm sorry, I'm not getting into this. But then I also tell them that you've come with this intention कि आपको injection लगवाना है, मैं नहीं लगाऊंगी, you go to the next doctor and get it. So that's the thing, so like there has to be a lot of conversation around it, and I think so a few people on Instagram are creating this conversation. I feel like it has to be driven a lot more. It's just that कि वो लोगों को आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, I feel like it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
It's not like this generation will, they might realize it a bit, but जब तक ऊपर की 2-3 generations नहीं ये चीज़ समझेंगी, so it's very, I don't think it's that easy कि सब में ये change आए.
And I feel like the change really has to start in each home. So I feel like for me, it will just, I mean, you know, we talk about, of course, affecting society, but for me, it's going to be what I'm going to do with my child and my children, and with the people that she'll interact on. So every time I stand up and I'm not affected by anyone saying something about something, everybody will comment कि इसको ज़्यादा मोटा होना चाहिए, इसको ज़्यादा, you know. And I was like, now she's going to become bigger, then you'll say कि इसको पतला होना चाहिए. So I was like, you know, just I constantly tell people, don't comment on her physicality. I don't want you to comment. Don't call her. Don't constantly only focus on calling her beautiful either. You know, call her lively or active, or there's so many other compliments we can give each other, except for just being like, oh, she's so beautiful, or she's not so beautiful. So I feel like that's shifting the focus, and it's not as easy. I do believe कि वो एकदम ये एक साथ नहीं जाएगा. It's going to take some time, and I feel it's going to take time by having conversations and starting in your surroundings. What can each of us do? You know, maybe you have a niece that you can help. You know, you have someone, like I said, you're already. People can look at you and be like, okay, she's gone through that particular battle, and look at how stunning she looks. She runs her own Instagram. You know, just showing, I think, by example, and I guess doing what we can in our own homes.
Yeah, I guess it's also important to talk about how, again, like you said that you've faced all of this all your life, and like how it's changed you. Selena, you were, again, you know, thrown into Pakistan after living in Geneva for a while, and यहाँ पे आके listened to our first day पे आके सुन लिया कि oh, you're fairer than me. So of course these things do impact you, and Neha, again, you've gone through all of this, and I think you've come out a lot stronger than what I would say any other girl would, because you either they don't have that opportunity to come onto social media, or the fact that कि बस घर में इतना बोला जाता है कि they don't have that space.
I think it's just about self-love, understanding that you need to look at your own demons, look at your good, look at your bad, and I think take the conversation slightly further and make space for the mirror in the mirror for things bigger than just the way we look. I think there's a lot of focus on just the way we look, or our skin color, or our bodies, and you know, appreciate other areas of life, you know.
It's difficult, but again, if the conversation starts around that, then I mean, it starts at home. Start talking to your sisters, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your kids, and that's how I think it goes ahead. But thank you so much. I think we should wrap up now because they've got another event happening, and I was told to finish at 8.
Thank you, Malika.
I know you've been an awesome moderator.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who showed up.
Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. We shall be back very soon with another video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and let me know if you enjoyed these kind of conversations, and we shall be having more of them for you. See you soon.